Right guys, welcome to this episode of Railcar Restorers on the road, and today we're going to answer the burning question that you probably all have. What are we actually going to do with this DMS stood behind me? Well, the answer to that is we're going to be dismantling her for our spares. This is a long-term move for our group, so basically the bogies are destined for under 51412 because we have wheel set issues with it, which we'll go into a bit of detail about in another video. The gearbox, one of them we're going to keep for spares. Both the engines, one of them is definitely destined for 51370 to replace a seized one. So a lot of these parts are destined for our own unit, and a few other groups around the country are all coming here this week to grab their fair share of bits. Which also helps pay for this unit basically, selling the spares, and basically a lot of it is going to help keep our unit going, which is the main reason we purchased it. We are now going to be really well catered for spares wise, which will enable us to keep our 3-car set running for the foreseeable future and a very long time, hopefully till me and Johnny are in wheelchairs. So yeah, this unit should help us keep us going for a long time, and it's also going to benefit a lot of other DMU groups we have visited or are yet to visit around the country, which is also very pleasing to hear.
Yeah, we did a bit of networking and not working at Midland Railway Centre, and I think we're at the point now where we're not only going to massively benefit ourselves, and I'd probably say, if we're clever about it, secure the future of that 3-car unit, providing we keep on top of preventative maintenance for possibly the next century, really, because providing that we keep the patchwork going, wheel sets in preservation, they do keep on going, providing that you're not ridiculous with your driving style, let's put it that way. But yeah, and actually this is a really cost-effective move for us and for other groups, because obviously we cover what we've done. It will be, at the end of it, hopefully a net neutral exchange, with a massive gain of all the parts, but we will go into those costs in the outro when we're done, but I think you'd be quite surprised at the amount that we can save by buying this and then dismantling it. It's quite surprising. I've done a bit of the maths already, and it's worth it.
Yep, we've got 6 full days of work. We can't mess about. These are going to be 12-hour brutal days, a little bit like our trip to Scotland. There's no hiding. We must get on with this work. So I'm going to say, toodle pip. We're off to go and do some work now. So thank you.
So welcome to day 1, hour 0. So here we are. First task of this mammoth mission is the interior. And the reason it's the interior is because, well, to get stuff, to get things off, like backs of bolts and stuff, we need all of this interior out of our way. And when I say that, we're not going to leave anything on this, we're not. Window frames, interiors, going to come with us. All the windows are finding a home either with ourselves or other people that need them. Even the exterior window frames, actually, the aluminium, because yet again they're not made anymore, we are going to be taking a fair amount of them. There might be a few left on the unit when it goes for breakage or going for breaking up. So, but when I say we're going to leave no stone unturned, all of the bump stops are going to be coming off, all of the hinges are coming off, anything that is not manufactured anymore, that is on this unit, none of it's getting left. So pull cord chain, for example, we actually need some of this for 59520, our centre car, because it was previously ripped out, I think butchered, and then the new owners put in a cable, a steel wire cable, and that isn't authentic, so boom, solved that problem. Luggage racks, we've got luggage racks on 412 that have got like the tops broken off, so when I say that there is pretty much nothing that's going to be left on here, nothing's going to be left on here. Even the hangers for the corridor, the manufactured bits that the hangers hang off, they're coming. Everything, you know, is either going to find a home with ourselves or is going to find a home with a dedicated group that will use it and will need it. So yeah, you know, drop light windows, the top of drop light windows, most of the drop light windows, every bit of glass in here. The only thing we're not going to be taking are the lights because we don't need them, and there are still a significant amount that are out there. Not to mention because we're back converting ours. We've got all of the lights out of ours, so if anybody ever needed them, we've got 3 units worth, so that's not bothering us. We'll probably leave these little vents to last because they are also extremely common. But yeah, anything that isn't made anymore, even these little aluminium capping strips, we're going to take them. Even the weather strips on the outside, we will take a few of them. Every bit of wood that is still in good condition is going to be taken and reused. Pretty much everything. If the corridor mounting plate is, you know, good, then we will take that as well. So we're going to leave no stone unturned. But step 1 of this whole process is to rip out the interior so that we can actually get to the back of these bolts so that we can burn them off. You know, that's going to save us a significant amount of time. So yeah, let's get on with gutting her, as it were. Sad to actually be doing this, but a necessary evil, I feel. So yeah, let's get on with it. So here we are on day 2 roughly. We've stripped out most of the interior on day 1. There's just a little bit left. but we're mixing up just slightly, so that then when there's another wetter day, which is looking like tomorrow now, we can finish off that interior. Basically that interior has taken us a day, so we're now moving on to the underside really. So what this is going to involve is our goals for today, and probably not tomorrow because it's going to rain, but our goals for today are get all the small bits off, so pretty much get everything off, bar 2 engines and 1 gearbox, as we have someone collecting one of the gearboxes, so they'll do that kind of thing. They know what they're doing on that one. So we're gonna exhaust all the boxes, all the radiators, battery boxes, Smith's heaters, then we'll show you going on to the exhaust stacks as well, as we have found them a new home, which is always good. And then as well we will show you we are going to get the buffers off the front and the coupling hook off the front, useful spare, and then we're going to get one of the buffers off the back as well, because unfortunately one of the buffers is not serviceable, would need to go for overhaul, and that's the exact reason why we're getting the buffers that are good, because we're trying to save money on overhauling buffers, because some of the buffers on 412, they're not bad, but they've got a few indications that they're getting to the end of their life. So to have those spares where we can just build up some that will need to go for overhaul, but we can put some straight on, because overhaul, we've looked into it and we're saving a decent amount of money by not having to overhaul those buffers straight away. So those are kind of like the unrealized gains that you get from something like this. A part may have cost X amount in the day, but now that they don't make it anymore and certain manufacturers don't overhaul it anymore, a part now can cost twice as much to do that same overhaul. So it's a lot cheaper to just take some good buffers that are already used and just swap them out as and when buffers fail, let our unit earn its keep, and then we can send those buffers that are not good anymore off for overhaul. So it's like a stopgap, but it does save us money in the long term. So that's kind of the stuff we're doing. We're taking a bit of the exhaust, not only to get to the engine, but exhaust spares are useful. Sections of exhaust, they help you with replacing bean cans, etc, etc. So yeah, always good to have a bit of exhaust. These are the kind of things that you don't think about when you're scrapping a unit. So yeah, that's what you're going to see. You're going to probably see it on this side, and if we're lucky today, we'll do the other side as well, because we're aiming so that then Friday and Saturday's weather are looking a lot better. We're aiming today to have a lot more space around those engines so that they're far easier to get in there and take the appropriate bolts off. So yeah, that's what we're going to do today. That's what you're going to see, but it's around about day 2. Haven't quite yet finished stripping the interior, but we have done the cab. But in order to keep it in a nice order, I may have already shown you that footage, just to keep that nice order going, to kind of do inside, then outside, then we'll get on to the next bit when we get on to the next bit. So yeah, hope you're enjoying so far, and yeah, we're going to get the gas axe onto this, and yeah, nothing to do but to do it. So, as you would have seen, we've had a bit of fun with the cutting torch and a large grinder and various other implements of destructive capability. So, looking very bare under here. Got one box left on this side, being a bit stubborn. But apart from that, we've left a Smith's heater on this side, and there's a gearbox on this side left because there is a group coming down, and that's their baby. So enjoy. No, but they're a great bunch of chaps. So that's the only thing we've left on. Now for us, we are now onto the stage where we are going to remove the gearbox down there, because in the beginning of the time lapse on this side, you would have seen there's a lot of scurrying underneath near that front bogie, and not a lot kind of came out of it. But we removed cardan shaft, and we also removed the shaft that connects the gearbox directly to the engine, or at least we've unbolted it. So given a little bit of a wobble, that should rest then in its cradle. We will try and get that out though. If we can't, then we will pay extra care when removing the gearbox for that reason. So what you're going to see now is we're going to take the engines out. Our two engines, we're taking both engines and our gearbox at the front, and we will leave this present for the person in question. So along with that, I have indeed flame cut this out because it is going to be a bit of history, because it's now on video. You wouldn't have seen that on this side. But we are going to basically put this up for sale. Blind bidding, private message Michael on Facebook or set L432, and this bidding will end on this a week after this video goes out. So when this goes out, it will be 7 days until then. We will give this to the highest bidder, along with 117,420, the number at the front. That will also be up for grabs. That you haven't seen get removed yet, because that's going to be when we tackle the cab. Obviously you would have seen removed those two buffers on the front, the coupling hook, and a buffer on the back. If you ever want to remove a coupling hook, I recommend a hydraulic jack, some decent packing, and a bar of sufficient strength to push up against that pin, because that was quite tight in there. But yes, so this is up for blind bidding. Private message, direct message Michael on Facebook, or the Facebook page to do with R117. This will be up, and the number at the front will be up. And I believe as well we've got an NRM telephone. Regrettably, there isn't the innards in. You would have seen that in the intro to our last video, where we actually went over kind of what we could do with this unit. Thankfully the rain has now stopped, but that we're gonna just give that away. All you have to do, put a comment down saying you've liked, subscribed, and that you want it, and then we will put we'll give each comment a number. We'll put that into a random generator, and then we will generate someone at random. We will then message you, and we will then send that off to you. So that's all you've got to do for that, is for that NRM telephone. It's just the box, just the bare box. But you know, like we say, we don't really want to see this to go to waste, and we'd like anybody that wants one, if you want it, leave a comment, you know, like the video and tell us that you've subscribed, you liked, and that you want it, pretty much. So yeah, that's what we're going to do now. We are now going to take the big bits off the bottom but we are leaving no stone unturned. And then after then, we'll get into a little bit more of working on this top half then, because just like we are stripping this to bare, I believe out of the 20 doors that this has, only 4 are getting left on the unit. So let's get on with taking an engine and gearbox off for the first time in our lives. It definitely won't be the last time. So here we are, this is day 4. Now, you know, I didn't do my usual kind of in the morning, this is what we're going to do. We've done it kind of, and then you watch us do it, and then we're on to the next day. Because today has been a bit of consolidation day, as you would have seen on day 1. We came through the entirety of the inside and stripped everything out. Today we had a bit of consolidation of that. We started taking cushions off of so the backs of seats off of the actual seat frames themselves. Those seat frames have then been stored outside, enabling us to get a lot more room. The reason we've got a kind of higgledy-piggledy arrangement in here now is you'll see there's some skylights, as it were. The roof ventilators, the domes that cover the basically the hole in the roof to allow air to get in. We've just removed them. Day 4 was a pretty boring day, a bit of like consolidation to be able to then crack our head with day 5. As day 5, I'm going to do the intro right now for day 5 because it's going to be a bit of a busy day. A lot's going to happen. Dome will come off. That will probably get done off camera, although you've kind of seen that if you watch any of our other videos. Dome's going on and off. You know, this is like the fourth, fourth time we've done this. But what's going to be happening tomorrow is that front partition is going to be coming out. There is a group that are interested in that front partition because they need it. Odd request when you think, oh, you know, that'll go to scrap. No, it won't. So, you know, everything really that we can get gone will go. We thought we would be sending some seats to scrap, but it turns out that everybody needs some 117 seats. So we're actually not going to be left with really any. We've taken a few for ourselves because we do need a couple, but the rest has just been gobbled up. So even though smaller items are going, I think, let me get this right, I think 16 roof ventilator domes will be going as well. They'll be disappearing tomorrow, hence why Thursday we got them off. I'll let you know that we got them off, but boom, they're gone. There's actually only 18 on here. There usually is 20, so that leaves 2 for us, just 2. But tomorrow, more importantly, that partition's coming out. That's going to be, you know, big job. And all of these doors, there is one group in particular that's interested in 10. Yep, they know who they are. But yep, they need 10 doors, so guess what? 10 doors are going to be coming off. I think there's also, we're taking a couple. So even with the doors themselves, there's only going to be, I think, 4 left on. And they might go. So we really are doing a really good job here of making sure absolutely nothing goes to waste. So yeah, what you're going to see now is you're going to see me, you know, tomorrow, but that'll be in about 2 seconds for you. come along. I'm just going to burn off the backs of the hinges. Take this whole saloon of doors off, because this whole saloon, including the doors on the cab, is 10 doors. So that will then service that group. Little update is that the other day when we were doing some engine stuff, a group came along and they took 2 doors and the associated hinges, as well as I think it's about 6 pieces of glass, 2 large ones, 4 smaller ones. So already the unit is starting to look a bit bare. So yeah, going to take off these doors and going to do the partition, and that's pretty much going to be it for the day, because we're now at the point where interior is stripped, you know, everything that we can get has come out. You will notice there are some luggage racks around, there are some pull cord chain casings around. The only things that have been left on this unit are ones that we've gone along and we've seen that there is already damage there, or there's already a hairline crack starting, because the whole point of us getting those particular components is because we have quite a lot that have cracked, and these ones are cracked in the same places. That doesn't solve our issue, that just gives us more things to get rid of. So anything that's kind of been left up is because it's below the quality that we would like, which is unbroken. Pretty basic requirements for the quality of stuff coming off this. So yes, we're gonna get you. You're gonna see us struggle getting 10 deals off. Not to mention we have the wooden door frames as well that we need to get off, because this was an ex-Network South East unit, I believe, and they've actually cared about the quality of the wood in the door frames. So we're going to care about making sure that that doesn't go to the scrapyard. So it's going to be not a very easy process, because we have to be delicate with them. We can't just rip them out. But the only good thing is they do budge, but it's, you know, it's just getting them out. So we're going to get them out. You'll notice there isn't really many wooden window frames in here. I will do a calculation for all of you viewers at the end to kind of sum up actually how much money has been saved by taking components out of this unit. This is just for ourselves, obviously. How much money has actually been saved as if we were going to buy these things new, because we have had to do that on our unit. So yes, a lot of the window frames have gone because they came out really easily and they're in great condition. So I believe we've saved something around about £1,200 just by being able to recover those window frames. But I'll do a final tot up at the end for you, giving a rough figure, give or take 10%, of actually how much money this whole adventure, you know, how much we've saved, and then also taken away from that, the cost of getting up here, the cost of the unit. You know, I won't do a cost breakdown as it were, but I will give you the final net figure at the end of actually how useful this has been. So yeah, this is day 4, and we're going to now get into day 5, and then only one more day left hopefully after then, and she'll be completely stripped, and we'll give you a final walk round to really show you we've gone absolutely to town on this unit, leaving nothing to waste. So welcome to day 6. We are here as the sun is rising, which has kind of been the theme of the week really. As soon as we're able to work, we work, and as soon as light stops us, we stop, which actually at the moment, at this time of the year, is lining up to be exactly 12 hours, which is really nice. Yeah, it's the last available opportunity really to do this before it gets too cold. So yesterday you would have seen, got that partition out. That was actually, you know, first time I'd done that, and for the group in question, actually I think it was the first time they'd done that, but they didn't let it show, and and we got that out. We also took a partition window from that. They took one because one of theirs had unfortunately been smashed. And if you want to see where that partition has gone, then I would suggest you subscribe, because we will be doing an update on the particular place where that's gone. And yes, you will see 51400's driver partition at a railway, possibly near you. Unfortunately, we didn't get all those doors done, but that is not bad, because we did get a few other bits done that we hadn't really put on the cards. We have now got a complete handbrake linkage, wheel, the nut. We've got pretty much got everything that we might need for one of our units, and if not, then I am going to make that into something that will be useful for me, but keeping all those components in their original lengths, so that just in case there is a handbrake problem on one of our units, that then I can take what I'm going to be using it for apart, get a different Acme thread, etc. So even, you know, stuff that isn't going to be maybe used will find a nice home, because this stuff isn't made anymore, and it's a lovely Acme thread. So yes, but what you're going to see now is we're now on day 6. We've actually, well, we're on basically the final day. We have got half of tomorrow, but that is our breathing room. That is for us to go through this unit with you, and also get everything appropriately fastened down within the unit. Make sure that, you know, things are disconnected from the bogies, etc, etc. That's kind of, that will be, there isn't really anything that should be filmed on that day. It's more just an organisation half day for us to make sure that when this does eventually go for braking, wherever that may be, that there is nothing that's going to get damaged as they separate the main frame from the bogies, making sure that, because really we want these bogies, they're on lovely tyres and lovely wheels. So what you're going to see now today is we're going to get all of these doors off this side. I think that's the aim, and strip them for their component parts, etc. And then I think we might get a bit of gutter, because there is a group that needs a little bit of gutter. Misplaced some of theirs, so this solves their issue for them pretty easily. So yeah, we're going to crack on. We're also going to take a couple of whole pillars with us. So we're going to find some that have got good framework, good wood, and we're actually going to take the whole pillar with us. And these pillars will get a new lease of life in 370, providing they are in adequate condition. As there are a few on 370 where the whole pillar will actually have to be replaced, and a few of them are on the actual door sides, so we won't unfortunately be able to use the same doors because it is in the guard's vehicle. But it saves us yet again, you know, that's preformed framework. It saves us, you know, an extra 70-80 quid per section for the whole body side. So that's what we're going to get on with today. We're going to do pretty much the last of the stripping, and then a group is coming today as well to take the 2 Smiths heaters and the gearbox and the associated shaft that has been left on the gearbox. So I've kind of given you a bit of a wide angle so that we can see us working down the unit, and they'll be working down here. They'll also be taking the rear section, the rear jumpers. So that's probably out of shot for you, but like I say, we'll go around this whole unit, you know, tomorrow after we've done today's work, and yeah, not much would have been left on. So yeah, let's crack on with it. This is the final day. Let's finish it.
Right guys, so as you'll see, we are now finished. So we'll just finish the last bits on the outside. So we'll do a quick walk around, and then after that we'll move on to the interior. So looking at this, as you'll see, plenty of doors missing, door locks, windows, roof domes. They'll also get covered on the interior walk around when we do it. Also some number flame cuts here which will be available, we'll get to that in a minute. More doors, windows, fair bit of stuff on the outside. Moving underneath, heaters, gearboxes, cardan shafts, engines, all completely gone. All the EP valves, everything you can see has been saved. Fuel, that's a coolant cap, but it's rotten, so we didn't take it. We took the one off the opposite side though, which we'll see in a minute. So yeah, under here, fuel tanks, they've been drained. Got the EP box, it's empty. Space where an engine should be, then there should be another gearbox and a cardan shaft to the final drive, all gone. Some of the things that are going to be up for grabs: 51400, 117420, the set number, and a BR arrow. So there'll be a blind bidding going on for that, which we'll announce in a bit. So moving round, again, more windows, doors, usual bits and pieces. The speedo cable's gone, we've saved that. Now to the cab, you'll see the dome, everything's been stripped off of it. Going around to the front, buffer's gone, marker lights gone, headlights gone, windscreens, wipers, dome, everything gone. Jumper cables, vac gear, air gear, all gone. We just squeeze around here. The horns, they're gone. So basically we've kept a lot of this stuff, to be honest. Some of it we have moved on, but a lot of it is going to help our unit where the BRR used to be. More doors, number area. And then moving underneath, we've got, again, big spaces where engine should be. Coolant filler cap missing, because we saved that. More windows. Again, another engine should be here. Should be air tanks there, they've all been saved. The BIS, battery isolation switch, has been saved. Again, more heaters and gearbox space been saved. All the windows have been saved. A lot of these door trims as well have been saved. We've saved a hell of a lot of stuff off of this. Door hinges as well, completely missing. Some we just ran out of time for, but it's not many, thankfully. And yeah, so basically there's one buffer left on it and the draw hook this end. The buffer is decompressed though, so it's not much of a waste. Yeah, basically it's get the old girl recovered now, get her scrapped once the asbestos is stripped, and then recover the bogies. Right guys, so looking at the interior of this unit, as you'll see, there's not a lot left of it anymore. So for starters, we've had a lot of these pull cord chain holders. Had plenty of them. The pull cord chain out of both sides, which is vital because that'll be now going in our centre car, which has some sort of weird bicycle string arrangement. Doors, you'll notice they're all missing. A lot of them have been sold. A lot of them have been stripped for spares, locks, windows, hinges, hinge pins, bump stops. They're all bits we're keeping for our unit, and the lazy tongs, which make the window go up and down. Door lock striker plates, they're all gone. Again, we've kept them, they're a wearable item. A lot of the door pillars, if they're not rotten, have been saved. One's also gone to another group to get the unit back in traffic, which is very handy. So obviously seats, they've gone. A lot of them have been sold to other, well, pretty much all of them have been sold to other groups. So two other groups had them, one had the majority of them, one had a small saloon, and then a few other little bits and pieces have been sold, and we've kept a couple just as spares. Wooden window surrounds, again, if they're not rotten, we've kept them, so that saved us a lot of money because a lot of them have been savable. So I think we've managed to save about 15-16 of them, which is quite good, of varying sizes. Heater ducts as well, I've kept a few of them just because you never know when you might need them. They're quite flimsible, flimsy rather. So, and they just pop it back together. So I've got a few spares of them. The lighting, that has been also stripped out. That's also gone to another group who's still keeping the 80s lights. You'll see a little bit of light behind me as well as we go along in the roof, as the ventilators have also been sold, all bar 2, which we've kept just to replace a couple of cracked ones on 370's roof. The header tanks, one's going for scrap because it leaks, the other one we're keeping as a spare. The float valve has been saved though on the one that's going to be scrapped. Then moving back, partition windows, got a couple smashed on our centre car, got them now. Then moving into the main saloon now, again much more of the same. Luggage racks, we've saved them where possible, seats, doors, all the usual stuff. There's not a lot left. Anything underneath, like the pressure switches just underneath one of these boxes, they've been saved. Door jambs, literally this unit has been picked absolutely clean. And then now moving to one of the more major events, again the group that had the door jamb have also had the partition. So I think we can probably reveal who they are because they'll be happy about that. So it's going to the East Lancs Railway, this one. Something we'll probably cover in a future video at some point, but the partition has gone in their squeak, which we've covered on our channel before. It got ripped out with asbestos apparently, and got badly damaged. So basically harvesting this has helped squeak massively, again with the door pillar, a few other little bits like windows. So we'll help that unit quite a lot, which it feels really good. A unit that another Suburban, something that we're trying to follow closely as well for our interior tips. It's nice to know that we're saving it, or helping save it I should say. So moving now to the cab, it's a bit of a desolate scene. Handbrake linkage has been saved, the heat control panels have been sold, the lighting unit has been saved for spares. Unfortunately the inner roof dome wasn't savable, but this unit had obviously at some point had a smack and had the roof dome like bodged back together, because it had a bad sort of strip around it. That the roof dome is also, we're going to leave that for the railway because they had an incident with hitting a tree a few years ago, which they had to get the bubble car repaired and they needed a new dome, so we thought we'd leave them a spare. Also we can't fit it in the van, but we might as well leave it to them. It's a good spare for them to have. So we left that. Windows have been recovered, one of those has been sold. Like I say, all the handbrake gear has been saved, the emergency brake valve, all the gubbins underneath have been saved for us. A lot of the front panelling is going to go on 51370 where it's missing it or it's broken. We'll get the cab desk redone obviously on 370 though. All the gauge clusters and switches and panels, again all safe for 51370. The air axle light boards again saved as a spare for us. So yeah, and the PASCOM valves as well. Even the boards here that used to have electrical bits, all been saved. So basically everything that could have been saved has been saved on this unit. So it is completely stripped inside, but it is nice to see all the fruits of our labour at the end of this week, all the spare parts we're going to have, and also all the spares and help that other groups are going to get from and benefit from this vehicle scrapping. Now that wraps up the interior look. Right guys, so that wraps up this scrapping / parts recovery video. A lot has been achieved. We're all extremely knackered after how many days at this full? Like six full days doing this. Oh. We must be mad. We've been in monsoon weather, sunshine, cold, you name it. We're seeing it all in here in Yorkshire. We'd just like to extend a massive thanks to the Wensleydale Railway, who have been extremely accommodating. Their volunteers, paid staff have all been absolutely excellent. Couldn't ask for any better. So massive thank you to all of them. They've been great, letting us use forklifts, gas axes, just really helping us get this job done, which it just makes things so much easier. So a massive thanks to them, because otherwise it wouldn't have been possible.
Yeah, as Michael said, it has been an absolutely brutal 6 days, especially those of us who are not so young in the group. The railway is, been very accommodating to us, and I can only put an appeal for volunteers here. It's a very friendly railway. If you want to come out and do things like what we're doing, if you want to be a guard on the train, anything, come along and help. Even if you want to do jobs like what I do, just doing the basics, helping the skilled people, anybody come along and give them a hand. But and for everybody else who just wants to come and visit the railway, it's a lovely line, have done it before, so definitely come for a visit and give them your custom. They're a very, very friendly crowd.
Yeah, it has been an immensely tough week, so much so that one of Paul's shoes has given up and mine's now being held together with some glue. So we've had 2 shoes give up on us. We have been working that hard. A few little other things, obviously we've been mentioning throughout the video a few little points, one of them being these flame cuts. So here we've got, my glamorous assistant could hold that, lovely. So we've got these 3. So what I will do is you'll have to private message Michael, and bidding for these will close, blind bidding. Submit your offer via a private direct message to Michael, and that will close 1 week from when this video has gone live, whenever that is.
Just like to add to that, all proceeds from the sale of this will go to restoring set L432 into a much better state than the one behind me. I'll let you carry on.
So this is basically, it's all charity pretty much, because it's going to go towards our group as a whole, which if there's interest for it, then we'll do it, kind of thing. Because originally we weren't thinking of doing this, but we've had so many people like comments and ask about it that we thought we might as well give you the opportunity, if you do want them, give you a chance to have them. I would also like to say I also did a little bit of cost analysis on this. This is only a rough figure, but kind of like, why would we do this? And we've done a little bit of working out. Basically, we bought the unit for the bogies. So all in, we are estimating that actually from this we will be, as far as parts go, in the future it will save us having to spend roughly anywhere from £8,000 to £10,000. That's net. Because the bogies, if you needed to get them repanned, expensive, and these had them measured, they are basically full size, so absolutely amazing tyres. And according to a few people that have a bit more experience with life of tyres, we should be able to get 5 turns out of that, providing that we don't put absolutely massive wheel flats on them. So yeah, I'd just like to say a big thank you to everyone here. They've really been really nice.
Yes, as well as that, the spares recovery for us is going to keep us probably going now for the next 50 years. Obviously not myself, unless I have a very, very long age and very healthy, but these guys are going to go on and keep this vehicle going at least for another 50 years, and these spares have really pushed us over the line for that and put us in good stead. So set L432's future has now been secured.
I'd also like to just say as well that I've had permission from the relative groups that these parts have gone to show you at the end what this girl has helped out. So there'll be, after this outro, there'll be every single unit where parts of this will basically go towards, and I think we're at about 12 now, which is, you don't like having to do this stuff, but at least if you can help 12 units out, that's absolutely massive in the DMU world, so really useful. So I'd like to say thank you to all of you for watching, and yeah, we will see you in probably a little bit of a less exciting video fixing something rather than taking something apart. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.
Wonderful. Hey, hey. Isn't it? How wonderful. Hey, hey. Would it be? How wonderful. Hey, hey.